Yeah, baby. It's better than this.
Nothing.
What is kind of the traits that you saw out of the 4 quarterbacks that have improved the most for each guy over the summer?
Well, I think the most important part is they've spent a bunch of time together. I mean, I mentioned it to the unit last night. I said the best thing that happens over the course of a summer nowadays, the amount of time they get to spend together, is that back in the day we didn't get, we had working jobs, we didn't stay the whole time. Some guys left, some guys went. These guys put in a huge amount of togetherness in regards to getting to know each other. And I think that's what I don't want them to lose at all. That foundational piece of quarterbacks, learning a little bit more about each other, learn a bit more about their teammates, the unit, getting some cohesiveness without us coaches being involved. That goes a really long ways. And I know that sounds cliche or it sounds kind of fruity or weird, but that sets the foundation. That's the glue when things start getting really hard, when the dog days of camp kick in, when the season kicks in, when you get some ups or downs. That locker room is the only thing that matters. And for the quarterbacks to understand how important it is for them to dictate the tempo and the leadership and the foundational pieces to what our unit needs, you can tell that they spend a lot of time together. They understand each other. They can be critical with each other. They're talking to each other really directly, and no one's taking it personal. That's what I was most excited about seeing is that leadership mentality and the collectiveness that they put together.
I'm sure it's tough to quantify, but like, how much more fluent can these guys be who are new in camp in August versus spring ball? With your scheme, concepts, understanding of personnel?
Yeah, I think there's a lot. We've got a lot left. I mean, you come out in the first day. Our job as coaches usually is to take them to a level they can't get on their own. And having been a lot of stops and been a player, you can only go so far in summer when you're this young and take your group to a certain level. And then when the coaches get out here, there's a whole new demand. And I think that's our opportunity as coaches to come out and to press that bar as far as we can and try to get these guys uncomfortable. They might look less fluid than maybe we thought they'd be in regards to them knowing what's going on, because we've raised the expectation, the tempo, the style, the demands, the detail, and that's our job. And so there's some consternation a little bit today on some things that they've heard a million times because of the demand we've had. And I think that's what we want. We want guys that are a little bit uncomfortable, playing with a little bit of tempo when you're really hot and you're really tired, because that's when you start to really learn. And just like anything else, you learn the most when you're uncomfortable, not when you're comfortable.
And to piggyback off that, like I know you said quarterbacks on each other over the summer, but just from spring ball, I know obviously now being day one of fall camp, but just the growth over the summer with the quarterbacks and the receivers, what did you see there? I mean, I know very early today that you liked that.
I just, again, those guys now getting a few guys that are new, they're getting lined up, they know what to do. And now you can tell there's a sense of they know kind of what speed they're playing at. They know how this guy runs this. They know what that throw's got to look like versus that. And there's some opportunities where we didn't do it right. There's some really good opportunities today where it wasn't right, and we got to get it corrected. And we may have run it all summer or all spring last spring, and we did it right, 9/10. Now is when it counts. You got to be 10 out of 10 on that thing you've had 1,000 reps on. But again, you got to do it until you can't get it wrong. And right now, there's still things that we can still get wrong, even if we've done them a million times. And as long as they don't get comfortable, as long as they look at that and they're really critical with each other, and that we're open and we're having communication and dialogue about how we want to make this elite, then we'll be just fine. If we get comfortable, we're screwed.
Marcus, how important is the mix of quarterbacks you have in terms of experience, with Mikey being a veteran guy, Cutter kind of being a younger guy, and then Jake and a freshman, and then a returner like Cam? How important is that mix of these different experiences to collectively building out the room?
Yeah, I mean, you like to have that in the room for a couple different things. Number one, you like to be able to have some experience, to be able to hear somebody who's had experience, who can kind of move faster maybe in an install, or understanding the game a little faster and get straight to maybe some just switching languages. You also like it because you got older guys in the room that a younger guy can look to and say, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like at times. Mikey's got a command because he's had 1,000 reps. There's a command in the huddle, there's a command when he calls a play that Jake can see and he can look at and go, okay, I know what that's supposed to look like in certain aspects. Even Cutter can look at that. Cam, the same thing. And so I think we like to have that experience. No different than having a really veteran NFL quarterback when you got a rookie in the room, is he can see what that's supposed to look like in a lot of ways, whether it's on or off the field, whether it's how to talk to a guy, communicate a call, footwork, timing, all of that matters. And I think I can say it as much as I want. When they can see someone else do it as well, it just compounds, right? That experience compounds, whether it's an experience from watching it or hearing it.
We know there are a lot of private workouts over the summer that take place. How much input do you guys have over those sorts of things, and are you monitoring them, that sort of thing?
No, we can't. I think we've got a really awesome opportunity. I think in our profession right now is when you've done it as long as you've done it, you've had guys go off and go work with other people. You know people in whether you've been in the pros, whether you got guys working out, whether you got guys in combines, you get a chance to introduce your players, to other people. Got a chance to reintroduce Cutter and Jake in our group to a group of 3D QB who's been with a couple of my quarterbacks, and got a chance to say, hey, we can't be out there with the ball. I believe in this. I also don't know everything. I want to learn some stuff. Hey, I think this is a good way. We've got a really good relationship with a handful of guys the quarterbacks visit with that we send to. I'm a proponent, and I know Dilly is as well. We're not guys who are like, hey, we don't just hold grab of our guys. This is just the way we do it. We're too old for that. We've had too many quarterbacks that have successful. We're going to let these guys go out, branch out, learn something, get some more reps. Anytime you get a bunch of reps and you can maybe pick up one or two things and get some feedback, I can call those guys. We trust them to say, hey, what'd you think about this? What'd you see here? Would you change this? Hey, those guys also communicate with us, hey, what can I work on with these guys? What do you want us to look at? So a lot of times the relationships now are so good with some of these guys that they get a chance to go see and take their players with and get some extra work in. You can get some really good work for your guys when I can't touch them with the ball.
Marcus, how do you size up the depth and potential of your wide receiver?
Arguably probably as deep as we've been since I've been here. I think that there's some explosiveness there. I think the word that we're going to really, be pissed off about is the word talent, right? Because talent's overrated, right? Read the book if you don't know already. I used it last year. I used it last spring with our guys. We do have some talented guys, but that's not going to get us there. We got to have some detail and demand of those guys. Those guys are all guys who can make big-time plays, whether it's whether it's Raiden, whether it's going to be Reed, whether it's going to be any of those guys out there, Jared, they've all got ability. We've got to be able to harness that and put it in position and play at a really high level. And that means the demands and everything we do got to go up because they can make the plays, right? Now we've got to do it fast within the scheme against a certain look, against multiple looks under duress. When we're tired late in practice and you're sweating like you stole something,
Beyond just the quarterback battle, are there any other offensive guys that you feel like really maximized the summer and you've seen them kind of take that next step?
We went through with Joe the strength and conditioning, the entire team and the entire offense, and they sent it to us in the summer. I can't name names, but because there was about 80% of our guys on offense made this jump that looks totally different, and that's all done through strength and conditioning. Their bodies look different, their speed's different, their body fat's down, their endurance got better. Those guys spend as much time as I've ever seen together in that weight room, working at a level that's not just showing up and punching the clock. From the offensive line, our tackles and guards, our offensive line looks bigger and more flexible, more durable. There's guys on the team that lost fat but gained muscle. Right, a guy like looked like he was this. He lost a bunch of body fat, but then put on a bunch of muscle. You're like, what do you mean, Lord? He was there. Like, what happened? It's unbelievable. Some of the transformations some of these guys made. So, I think from top to bottom, the offensive group, as far as our unit, made some big strides, and that's all part of the weight room.
What does that say about where you're at culturally at this point, given that you lost a lot of your seniors and starters from last year's team, the big major voices?
I think it says a lot about the group that paid attention to being able to pick the flag up and go, right? They weren't worried about who was doing what. They knew when their time came, they had to do it, right? They're just a smart group who knew that they had to play with a certain foundational piece of our culture, be intense, right? Be good football players, understand the foundation, have fun, work harder than anybody in the country, and apply those principles. And they took it. As soon as that snap was over last year, those guys were off and running, and you could tell. Clam, Sip, all those guys were ready to roll. Quarterbacks came in, ready to roll. Wide receivers came in, ready to roll. And we were ready right with them. So, new group, new page, we roll.